I got my paintbrush here because I want to paint you a picture. So let me just... There we go. You're probably asking, what am I painting? I'm painting a world where free universal shelter never happens. And yeah, it's looking pretty dark. The messed up part is, it doesn't take much imagination, because it's realism, and thankfully we can look around and get inspiration. In this world, where shelter isn't free, you are forced to work your entire life just to make sure you can sleep indoors. You can call it rent, but the word rent just feels too normalized. Like something you do, like walking your dog or sending an email. No big deal, you just pay rent. But what is rent, really? It's a mandatory payment to access survival within a society that has the resources to house its own people, but chooses to make that right a product. And if you can't pay it, you're outside. Your skin on concrete, on mud, maybe beside some plants, and in extreme winters, you can die in the cold. You don't even have the dignity of a bathroom, despite the toilets that we've already built, sitting around in boxes, ready to give to humans who pay. Despite many countries that agree that access to clean sanitation is a human right, they still make you work for it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna need more paint because this is looking like a lot. So in this world where shelter isn't free, leaders love to say that housing is a human right. But rights, by definition, are free, since you're entitled to them merely by being alive and by law. But at the same time, the system turns around and makes you work a job, sometimes 3 jobs, to make you pay for what they say is free, but in reality, charge you every day. In this world, bodies break early, knees give out, cartilage wears, spinal discs bulge, your tendons inflame, carpal tunnel, chemicals seep into your body, the sun burns your skin. Work is work, and companies really like to work their employees out. But those employees are human beings. Parents see their kids for 10 minutes in the doorway and then disappear into another shift. And talented, creative people are forced to withdraw their unique contributions to society because work starts at 8. The inventor becomes a delivery driver. The musician becomes a server. The next mayor becomes a security guard. And the next scientist works at a call center. Now, of course, some people want to be security guards, servers, and work at a call center. I'm not saying those are jobs we don't need or shouldn't have. I'm saying we live in a world where people don't really get to choose what contribution they make to society. And that holds us back. A lot. But I'm going to fill the space in the background perhaps with some people. In this world, where home costs money, people scream, "Work harder, you lazy bum. Earn your place to live. It's survival of the fittest." Morally, it's like trapping someone in a heat wave and saying, "Hey, sorry, if you die, it's your fault." Enduring struggle is like a badge of honor to people, and they protect it. Instead of asking the obvious question, should survival require this much struggle at all? They are so deeply inside the system that they mistake its hardships for the natural order of life. What we have is not order, it's disorder. And there's nothing natural about it. That's our design. Think about it. A home is a precondition for health. It's much closer to essential infrastructure than some discretionary consumer good. Since shelter is a basic need for a human to stay alive, it's a pretty reasonable thing to guarantee. I'll paint one guy screaming, "No one is owed anything. They don't deserve free things." But a safe place to live is not the same thing as a Ferrari. It's a roof we give you, so your life doesn't just become about giving yourself one. It'd be different if you gave everyone a Lambo or a mansion. But what's needed to survive, that's the minimum. Keeping humanity beneath the survival threshold is the most effective way to ensure we never become anything better. We never evolve into something beautiful. An exhausted society is not a healthy one. And now that I'm looking at this painting, it seems that people are concerned about what others' contributions to society would be once shelter is free. But why does that concern them? Isn't it a bit eerie that you prefer people suffering the same way you do, just because it's familiar? That time that they now get with their family? Time for better health? An option to focus is too dangerous for you? You are defensive over a system that convinced you to slave your own life away. You're angry because a person finally gets to start living their life. If a person wants to be lazy forever, so be it! Your need to control others and your refusal for life to get easier for anyone is just a problem. So what happens if universal shelter never exists? We will live the same way we do now. And in different moments, scattered throughout our life, a little voice will rise and say, is this it? Why do I want to die? Something should change. This feels wrong. Hey Jenna, we need you. Okay, I'm coming. Yeah, life feels wrong. But, whatever, I have to go. And we will have those brief intrusions of clarity again and again during a break at work, when we're driving back home, if we're drunk enough, but that's it. Nothing more than quiet revolts. That's it, just little cracks in the trance. Our instincts will be so eroded by the order of the world that we'll never challenge it. We'd be trained into obedience. We'd stop questioning what's insane because it's familiar. If free shelter doesn't exist, we accept a world where they turn a basic need into something to sell you. It'll be impossible to even thrive. Nothing will change. This is really important. There's only so many hours in a day, and the thought of a better life will get buried over and over. So, we have to think. If we just break out for what we know for a moment and realize the dignity of our life and time, it becomes obvious that free shelter is one of the only ways that the human race can truly grow. And I mean truly grow, not advance with technology so that it makes it seem like life is getting better. It's not. Life is not some idea. This is people's reality. But leaders are so far from it that they don't understand. People are going to work today so that they don't die. Human progress is not a philosophy. Paying rent is not some philosophy. This is urgent. People I know are working double shifts tonight, carrying concrete, breathing in Clorox. And you're proud to tell the world that the newest iPhone is 17% faster than last year's version? So what is growth? It's no longer having to spend most of your life trying to afford the right to be alive. It is prison to not ask to be born and then have to work and be punished for it. Excuse me, that's what it means. Rent means you are billed for existing. Excuse me. And life can be great. You see, the earth is beautiful. But what's disgusting is the situation we trapped people in. Most people don't even get to enjoy the beauty of our universe. Our oceans, our mountains, our nature, our other countries, because they only see the confines of their cubicle, or warehouse, or store that they work at, and then right back home under the roof that they work for. And that's it. That's the loop. No one is talking about this. You grab someone on the street, which we've done, and you ask them, what if shelter was free? And then their brains freeze. They can't imagine it. Rent is treated like the law of gravity to them. No one will build universal shelter either, not just because it's incredibly hard, but because they won't ever get the idea. And if they do, they won't even think it's possible. You start to see zeros, trillions of dollars, and then you stop. And we talk to them, and they know it's the right thing, but they doubt its fruition. It's so ingrained in our species to have to earn your home, like it's some test or competition. Even by building Actum, in our meetings, there are moments where we just feel weird sometimes because it is such an outrageous idea in the time we live in. It is so outside of the script that we've all inherited that even just listening to our mission sounds like a foreign language. But that is the point. If nobody proposes the next step, we stay trapped in the old one. And every leap of progress, by definition, has to sound unfamiliar. What happens if we never do this? Mankind never gets to know itself. And that burns. In the timeline of our universe, this is an existential tragedy. And it's also a serious daily need. Every day people going to work, destroying their bodies, numbing their minds, hurting their hands, burning their skin, construction, warehouses, kitchens, hospitals, so they can pay an unnecessary bill because we commodified survival. Someone pinch me. Is this a dream? Is this a dream? Here's why it matters. There are only so many hours in a day, and we spend most of it on not dying. Does that sound civilized to you? Are we really civilized if society has the capacity to provide shelter for its people but instead charges them for it? Makes them work their whole lives for it, otherwise they can't have it? That's not the world we live in, that's the world we created, and it's corrupt. Monetizing survival while having the capacity not to is corrupt. It keeps people at the lowest end of their potential for the rest of their lives. And then retirement hits, and the elderly are afraid because they're one medical bill away from negotiating the end of their life. I'll put it plainly. If nobody fights for free shelter, we never get it. And the pain of paying for life, which causes most of our problems, will continue. People will age out of their dreams, and billions more of precious, beautiful people will grow old without ever experiencing the true freedom of their own lives. Do you see? Do you see? Okay, thank you.